All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Clan. How's everyone going? It is not over till it's over. Yeah, that's right. Just the show is not done until the show's done, and we all have been talking about crypto halftime. Has anyone been to the sporting match, the theater? You know, whatever we're talking about, what has just happened is halftime, and I'm just going to run through why I'm still seeing that as the case from a couple of different charts. Like going out into a bit of a zoomed out mode. This is what I do when things are a bit bearish, because I don't want to be claiming or creating FUD of like, this is the end, it's over, it's different this time, because I don't see it that way. And so it's my opinion on what's happening in the market. So I'm getting a varied kind of array of comments at the moment. Some people are by the dip mode, and some people are like, oh, what about those predictions, mate mode? Now, I don't really mind. You're all welcome to your own opinions, because these are just my opinions. And please don't be placing any trades based on my opinions. You know, I'm just one other voice. You know, I created my voice because it's the voice I would have wanted to hear as a trader, as a beginning guy in the market. There is plenty of other voices out there, and you can kind of pull all of the information that you find together and see if you can make an educated decision. But I'm just one small voice in a pond of really large voices in this crypto market. But in saying that, please like the video, because my voice needs to be shared like anyone else's. So that would help me out really much. And watch this one to the end. It might surprise you a little bit. So we're on the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to stick to a 3-day time frame, just not a full week, just a 3-day time frame. We're going to be heading over to the kind of total 2 page. We'll have a little bit of a scan around the market of what's happening, and we're going to kind of compare this market to, say, gold as a market, just to get a bit of perspective on things. So if you like a bit of a kind of a comparative, chart based overview, then I'll try and keep it simple and keep it clean, and hopefully you can get some understanding. So we have, Bitcoin here, basically a full market cycle and a half, right? So if we say, what are we now? We're on the 16th of May, and we might go and kind of mark this out. So where's the 16th of May on this chart? So 16th of May. So roughly from there to where we are right now is 1 year, right? So 16th of May, roughly there, when the crash happened. So you can see that we're probably a little bit slower in this particular correction. So that's where we're at. You've just got to kind of zoom out and just look at, if you take one fact out of this, and I think this is what a lot of people are forgetting, even people that appear to be old school, more OG than myself, is that this is and always has been a 4-year market cycle. So, which leaves us at, is the top the 3rd of December. So we're gonna place out the 3rd of December there as well. There we go. So here is 4 years ago to the day. Well, to the crash date. So 4 years ago to the crash date, or the recent kind of correction date, or drop off, or dip, or whatever you want to call it, liquidation event, we were kind of making an attempt at new highs and going into the beginning of a corrective move, which I think that this particular corrective move began a little bit earlier, but it has drawn out a lot longer. So on the 4th, let's say the 7th of January, what I'm calling this particular move, which is a push to the upside, 1, 2, 3 attempts more, and then a kind of big correction, happened over quite a short period of time. Whereas I'm kind of looking at this move as maybe a combination of these several moves here, all tightened into one. So, if we call this 18th of July dip our May 16th dip, then we are a little bit earlier, but there's also this kind of other dip up here in 2017. So are we just getting all of this done in one longer move? I don't know. But either way, history tells us that there's been 40, 30% dips quite regularly, accumulations. I think The difference about this one is probably narrative based, and slightly to do with the institutional money. And it's been going on since back down here. I was watching YouTube videos back down here where institutional money's coming, institutional money's coming. So people got excited about it. People, bought in early based on that. Then when it comes up here and it actually happens, then I guess the retail gets super bullish. But the thing is that the smart money that bought down here, this is when they're selling out. So I believe, they're kind of selling a little bit, letting it run back up in price with the retail hype, selling a little bit, letting it run back in price, selling a little bit. And then finally, they're like, we're fully out of this situation. We're fully out of this position. Now, when you think about a trader, what do you do when you've made 1,000% on your money up into there? So you've held for a long time, made 1,000%, and there's 6 months to go in this market, or there's 3 months to go in this market. What do we do? The price has just dipped. What are we going to do with our profits? Let's buy back in. Let's start again. Let's double down on this trade and ride it all the way to the parabolic top. So that is what I hope is happening. That's what I see happening. And the beautiful thing is that whether it's happened yet or not is that the floodgates open up for bigger institutional investment here, because once the price is higher, bigger money can come in, like when you're talking about, hedge funds or funds with assets under management in the trillions, they can't even allocate 5% of their portfolio to Bitcoin yet, because it'll move the needle so much. The market is not big enough yet. But once the market is towards the 2 trillion, then, they can start putting 1% in, and lots of them can start putting 1% in, because it won't move the needle as much. It's not like, oh my God, there's this big run up of institutional investment and people kind of FOMO into it. And then, the rest of the market starts taking profits, which causes the hedge funds positions to crash because they moved the market too high, which created a selling opportunity, right? So you've got to think about things like that. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening, but a lot of the research I do, a lot of the understanding that I do about big money is that they, why do they buy things that only appreciate by 3 to 5% each year? It's because those things aren't volatile, so they're while they're not exposed to big upside risk, they're also not exposed to big downside risk. And at the moment, Bitcoin is a risky asset. And for them to buy in, it needs to be a little bit higher, but they need to also know that it won't go much lower, So buying in right now for me, if I was an institutional investor, I could sell the story to people is that, potentially, that dip to 35 will be the bottom of the next bear market. There's a potential that's the case, right? So that's what's going on in my eyes. We definitely, in my eyes, still have a long way to go. That is, it's crypto halftime. When you think about this move again, big pullback, are we going to do that move again? I've done my targets for that. It's from anywhere from 100 to 250, 300, like it just depends. You got to think a move from 250 to 300 is not that many percent. It's only 10 or 15%, right? It's not in dollar value wise, it's huge, but in percentage wise, it's not that huge, So a move from here, 38 to 100 is only just over 100%, and then you go to 200, that's another 100%, and then you go to 300, that's another 33%, right? So, the move itself is not that great, So if we're talking about 3 to 500% from here, we've got a range of targets. The total crypto market minus Bitcoin. I want to kind of address this and show you what I think's happened. So I believe that there is something that has gone on, and I just want to kind of draw an analogy out here. Let's say you were about to do a big thing, a big project, a big jump, build a house, do something like that, right? You would want to know that there was a solid foundation to launch off, right? If you were going to do something big, you want a solid foundation. So what are we looking at here? We've got kind of a couple of resistance lines here, between 710 and 750, right? So we call this a band of support and resistance. So back here in February, we tapped it, we pulled back. And then we kind of spend a lot of time trying to break through that 710 market cap level, right? Then finally we did, and then we back tested it, right? So one back test is sometimes enough, but if you're talking about a market psychology, a double back test makes sense because there's a double up test, a double breakthrough when it was resistance, so a tap and then a really kind of hammering of the foundation to flip that into support. Tapped off it, bounced off it, went up, super bullish, but it says, no, this is too good to be true. The market psychology is like, we just need to go back one more time and just tap down here, just find and just see, have we got a platform under us? Have we got solid resistance here? Is the market willing to support us at this level? And I think it's held, I think besides the liquidity event where it kind of dipped below very quickly, this candle closed well above. This one's dipped back below again, back towards the 750 or 770 there, and it's closing above. So it's finding a new support level. The market is giving itself some confidence, some assurance that all the weak hands are sold out, that everyone in here is a holder, and we can now build our positions. Now we can start buying, knowing that we know where the floor is, we know where we want to launch off. So that's another kind of idea that, just to kind of spin this a little bit differently. And finally, just bringing it back to gold, I only want to kind of draw this out because, if we look at this particular market cycle, and this is over a longer period of time, so this is over years rather than 4 years, so September 11 to 21, so 10 years, this is a 10-year cycle, but it's not that different to Bitcoin in the sense that parabolic top, attempt to retrace, couldn't make the highs again, 3 taps, and then we're going into a bear market. We've got a low, low, a low, like a kind of a triple tap of a bottom or a bottoming sequence, and then a kind of a run up. Now, you could say here, oh, this is the end for gold, it's pulling back, but it hasn't, like gold is doing what a normal correction should look like. A big aggressive run up in price, then a channeling down. Channeling down this angular resistance line where, 1, 2, 3 attempts, and then 4th attempt here is potentially going to be the breakout. But then we're going to break out. We're probably going to back test this particular level, find a new launching pad somewhere around this 1850, 900 mark, and then gold will do its next move up. Moving back to Bitcoin, it's the same thing that's happening. The total market cap, whatever. It's the same thing that's happening. This market cycle. Parabolic top, couldn't quite make it on the second attempt. Bulls ran out. No one wanted to buy it for that price anymore. Big pullback, bear market, bottoming pattern, another kind of attempt at a bottom, and then a really big run up. And now we're going, okay, we're finding a new launching pad level. We're finding potentially the new bear market bottom. Like I say, I'm not saying it won't dip lower than this in the future, but if you look about this line here, this 10,000 line, what was a key level all through that bear market? Couldn't break 10, just broke through it for a little bit, pulled back, spent a lot of time around 10, came back and tested 10, and then it rode on out of there. What's going to happen the next market? We're going to be in and around that 35 to 40k mark for a lot of the next 4-year period. So like I say, right now, the price is at a position where people would feel comfortable to make longer term positions. Even if things went pear-shaped, they'd be like, okay, well, at least this is the new kind of support resistance level, right? So that's where we're at. It's just that the only freaky thing for Bitcoin, especially for the retail holders, that is it went up here and it probably should have corrected. Went up here and it probably should have kind of drew out a line like this, where it kind of bounced its way down, got all the way to this level, which it should have done. It should have done this 40% correction and then kind of broke through there. So it should have done a channel through here, but instead it was super bullish. It was Elon Musk. It was everyone's buying Bitcoin to the moon. Bitcoin's going to do this. Bitcoin's changing the world. We love Bitcoin. Everyone's buying it. So it went higher, sellers come in, higher, sellers come in, and then finally people got bored. People start getting tired of this not going to 300,000. So they just go, oh, I'm going to take profits. And then we all start talking about it. Oh, there's going to be a sell-off. We can see the weakness there. So then you just start pulling out because you're like, I'd rather pull out here than have to sell here or sit through all of this, right? So that's what's going on in my head. I hope you like this. I hope this makes some sense to you. we have a long time to go. We have a long time to go in this market, as in 6 months, 3 to 6 months, where we've got a lot of price action to go. And, it is fairly plain and simple to me. And I'm not saying it's going to be a straight line from here. There's probably a couple of smaller corrections on the way, but they're healthy, right? They're healthy corrections, right? So throughout this market, correction, 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 correction. So 3 or 4 corrections, then a couple of quick snap dips is what we can expect, especially to go higher. We need to pull the lucky band, right? This is why this next move is going to be so massive, because the lucky band was pulled so deep that it's going to kind of fly out of there. I can see it kind of aggressively getting towards 70, 80K very quickly, then kind of finding another resistance level, back testing, boom, 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 boom. And then, we'll see where we're at on the 3rd of December. I think to call it from a time frame perspective any earlier than that would be it completely doing what it hasn't done for the last 3 or 4 bull cycles, right? Is that it takes a 4-year cycle. The halvening is 4 years, so the cycle is 4 years, right? So in 2 years from December, there's the same amount of time to the halvening, and that's where we're at, right? So anyway, hold on tight. I've nibbled away at a few things. I bought a bit of Bitcoin miner, a bit of Harmony One. A little bit. What else? I bought, a little bit more ICP. I've said that in all the other videos. So I've added, some fiat currency into this market, which I was very hesitant to do in the past. All the work I'd done previously was trading, and I'm glad that that anything that I'm in and has gone down in this dip is something that was already up 3 to 5x. So it's not like in reality I've taken a loss. It's just I'm kind of taking a step back. So I hope that was the case for you. I mean, I do feel some pain for people that bought with fiat money anything at the top, whether it be Harmony One at 24 cents or Bitcoin at 62,000. It's hard when you put fresh fiat money into that, thinking it'll go up, and then it pulls back on you 50%. That hurts. I get it. But we're not over yet. You could literally close your eyes for 6 months, come back and just press sell, and that something would have happened and you would probably be up on your position. So that's that. I'm going to leave it there. That's fairly ranty, but I've got to come in with these ones every now and again just to keep myself honest and to keep you guys in this kind of zoomed out macro picture that I'm seeing. Anyway, I've been Jared. This has been Crypto Plan. Please like, please subscribe, please click the notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.